All right, you ready? You good?
Let me get that air. I've been falling away. Get that air.
You know what that means.
You better stop. We don't have the right to play that beautiful track.
Yes, we do. I own that track. I bought it for 99 cents. Actually, no, she probably charged like $2.99 and I probably paid for it. That was Farrah Abraham's new song, Blowin'. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yay, we're back. Did you guys
We're back.
miss us?
You know what's funny? I thought about it. I'm like, we've missed a few podcasts. Nobody really cares. And then I went to Twitter and everybody was complaining and saying they missed the podcast.
Well, here's my thing, which I think I love and everybody support. Thank you for your support and love and dedication. But like I did let people know on Twitter and whatnot that we were going to take a little hiatus. And then all the tweets were like, when is it coming back? When is it coming back? And I told them when. So like, that's just confusing.
Okay, but first of all, how many people listen to this podcast? I don't know, like 300,000? How many people read your tweets?
Like all of them.
Like your mom and like 3 others?
Like all of them.
Like your mom and my mom?
Like all of them.
And that's about it?
Yeah.
Anyways, yes, guys, we are back. We were in Pittsburgh, the beautiful
metropolis
city of Pittsburgh for about
Yay.
3 months.
Very long time.
There was a lot of Cheesecake Factory. There was a lot of French fries. Lauren gained a lot of weight.
You guys will not be seeing a photograph of me for about 6 months.
Although if you just take it with your iPhone in a mirror, you'll be fine.
Yeah, no.
I
get
have
that.
never, this is just a side note, so many people I follow on Instagram look so skinny. And then when I see them in person,
They're fat.
me included, I'm sure they see me in person and go, what? But God, the iPhone camera, please, when they make the iPhone 6, don't change the camera. It's perfect the way it is.
Who are we talking? Who do we have on the show that you were like, they take the most amazing Instagram photos? I mean, not that they're fat at all, but like, I mean, you were like, I've got to learn how they do it.
Let's not name names because
Okay.
that will make it sound like they're fat. and
Okay,
it's
but
not.
there was somebody on
First
this
of all,
podcast.
we've never had a fat person on the podcast.
Ew!
So gross.
Gross.
I would make them vomit before they walked in. I'd say there's heroin in the bathroom. Anyways,
I
yes,
miss Paris.
I don't.
Okay.
We're back. Yes, we're back. We, as you guys know from my main channel video I made talking about it, we made a movie.
Yay!
Yay! We made a movie. I'm not going to give away what it's about, but it's about AIDS and cancer, and it's really intense.
We thought we'd come out like our first one, like we just like get it all over with, like the big stuff, and then like the next one will
Yeah.
be like a comedy.
Oh yeah, no, I wanted this
Yeah.
one to be a serious drama.
Right.
It's starring me, Julia Roberts, Miranda Cosgrove, and
I do the cameo in the end that I'm the one that actually injects you with the morphine before you die. Yeah,
and
the
then I
nurse.
inject you with the AIDS.
Right.
It's really intense.
It's the future, so you can just kind of look at people and stare at them and then give them AIDS. It's really cool.
Wow. The future is now because I feel like I've gotten AIDS from a few people we've had on the podcast. Just kidding.
Okay.
Speaking of people we've had on the podcast, I want to get right into this because you emailed me like a 14-year-old girl and we're like, OMG, did you hear about that Jeanette McCurdy drama? I was like,
Actually,
who?
what I wrote specifically was Salmon Crat Drums.
Yes. Number one, she doesn't know the actual name of the show because it's Sam and Cat, not Sam and Crat. Number two, I think
I've
Mama
never
was.
watched
I
it.
think Mama was a little drunk when she wrote that email because there was a lot of exclamation points.
There's a lot of drums going on there.
So here's the deal, guys. First of all, I'm always Team Jeanette. I'm
Obvi.
always hashtag Team Jeanette.
Have you seen her eyelashes? They're amazing. I follow her on Instagram. She really has amazing eyelashes.
That's terrifying. Yes, I do follow her on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Posts some great pictures. Also some creepy pictures. I've asked her why she posts them. And she doesn't know. I think daughter gets a little drunk too. So here's what happened. I'm not going to say I know any inside information because I really don't. But it's coming out that Jeanette is like not getting paid as much as Ariola Grande. And allegedly, I'm guessing. And and Jeanette's pissed and she's she's upset about it. Here's the thing. I get paid more than you. So like when we get nominated for our podcast choice award, are you going to show up?
absolutely not. I'm gonna because I think it will help sort of my popularity if like I don't show up and I protest. Like I think that's sort of like a better move for
Interesting. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
The reason I think that they should get, well, first of all, they should be getting paid equally. They're not like.
Oh, so should we? Perfect. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. I came to this podcast with 7 or however many years of experience on YouTube, with the following. What did you bring?
Ranch dressing
Interesting.
that I got in Pittsburgh.
So, I think I deserve a little bit more. Jeanette, I think, brought a lot, and I think Areola brought a lot, and I think they both brought about the same.
Well, from the articles that I read, they were equally, I think, as popular when they started the show. It sounds like Areola, though, has gotten a bit more sort of mainstream popular with her music and whatnot.
My thing about it is, listen, both of them follow me on Twitter. So, hey, girls.
Okay.
Hey, Areola. And hey, I feel like Jeanette should have a nickname.
Ginger.
Jeanette McCurdy. Let me think about that. So, hey, girls. And I don't know. I hate that there's drama. Supposedly, Jeanette unfollowed Areola.
I saw that.
Anger.
That information was in like a reputable Hollywood like thing. And like it was so that like people in Hollywood are like they.
I love that people in Hollywood give a shit about that. Like I unfollowed like Khloe Kardashian, nobody cared.
Why?
I'm over it. I'm tired of it. I mean, listen, I've always
not
been
why did you unfollow her? I kind of got that. Why did nobody care?
You know what though? I started hate following Chris.
You did.
Yeah, because it's kind of like following like a dead person. Like every time she tweets, I'm shocked at what's coming out of her mouth. Like if Michael Jackson just rose from the dead, I'm more shocked at some of her tweets. Moving on. Hashtag Team Jeanette. Oh my God. Speaking of Kris Kardashian, I had this written down. I don't know if you know this, but she has a sex tape.
I do.
Is it a sex tape or is it a sex, like, what did they have back in the day? Like the,
I don't know, Mr. Director who just directed a movie. You tell me.
It's probably like a sex drawing,
like 8 millimeters. What you're saying? Yeah.
Or no, it's like a sex sex
Sex
drawing that they rolled up and put on a pigeon.
It was a flip book.
So Kris Kardashian's sex flip book is out now. It's supposedly coming out.
Well, this is
Who's
the thing.
it with?
Nobody's talking about anything other than the fact that there is this supposed sex tape, and like nobody knows who with. Nobody really has ever seen it. I mean, it's like kind of the most obvious amount of self-promotion that they've tried to make up.
I'm really into lesbian porn, so I hope her and Bruce made a tape, and I cannot wait to watch it. Did you see he got his neck, what's it called?
It's
his Adam's
apple. Yeah,
he got it
shaved
like
down.
removed.
Yeah. I just saw Joan Rivers do a lesbian Bruce Jenner joke on like a Tonight Show or something like that. You and Joan have so much in common.
Speaking of lesbians, I have a lot in common. I have a Miley Cyrus story. Me and her, both lesbians. So this happened. I don't think I've talked about this on the podcast. I don't think I've talked about this on YouTube at all because it was right before we went out of town. But guys, I had what's the word for it? An interaction. I got AIDS from the Cyrus family, and I want to explain what happened.
I almost forgot about that. God, so
called-
much has happened between
I called you in a panic.
You did, and I was
was
like,
in the
this is
middle-
a horrible idea for the record.
I was in the middle of a Whole Foods, and I was just trying to get my chicken, and I called you in a panic. So long story short, I noticed that Tish, is it Tish or Trish?
I think it's Tish,
That
which
me
makes no
love
sense.
her even more. Tish was following me on Twitter. I had a panic attack and I thought, oh my God, why is Mama following me? Is she like trying to like keep tabs on me? Like, what am I doing wrong?
Right. And is it really her or is it like her people?
Yeah.
Right.
Then I noticed that the entire Cyrus family Twitter was following me. And I was like, okay, there's definitely a problem.
Because they have like
here.
a family Twitter.
A family Twitter. Anyways, moving on. That was definitely some gay assistant who followed me. Like I don't think they actually run their own Twitter.
Sure.
So anyways, some fabulous assistant followed me. So I direct messaged them and said, hey, why did you follow me? And they wrote me back and said, we love you. And I'm like, we? And then I got a phone call saying, or no, sorry, I got an email. No, it was a phone call.
I think you got a
It
phone
happened
call.
like 4 months ago, so it was very confusing. Got a phone call from somebody saying, hey, this is the producer of Miley Cyrus Family YouTube channel. They want to do something with you. They're all here. We're at her house right now. do you want to come right now?
At which point you called me and I said, it's a trap. Don't go.
Remember that show To Catch a Predator?
Like literally, I was like, I think this is a really bad idea. I don't want you to just like walk into like all Cyrus's like.
No, it was to catch a YouTuber, and they were trying to catch me, rape me, and murder
By
me.
the way, it's a genius idea for a show. Side note.
So, of course, I'm talking to Lisa, and Lisa's like, you have to go, but you have to have somebody go with you
Yeah.
for safety. It was totally like I was one of those girls going out clubbing, and I'm like, I need a clubbing friend in case I get roofied. Like I was so scared.
You were like legit. I was like, don't go.
So then I
was,
called
like,
the producer
terrified.
guy, and I was like, listen, like I'm really nervous that they all hate me, and this is a trap, and the video is going to be like a really mean prank, and they're going to like murder me or something, and Miley's going to chew off my head. And he's like, no, they love you. Miley won't be here. She probably doesn't love you.
Yeah, no, because Miley doesn't love
But
you.
the rest of the family loves you. And then he's like, and Tish is like, get on over here, boy,
So where were you supposed to go?
to the Cyrus house.
Like their house,
Which
in like
and listen-
Tarzana
and
or
listen,
something. Wherever that is?
I honestly would have gone. It's just I was packing. We were going out of town the next day, so I didn't have time. So I was like, listen, like when I get back in town, let's do something big. So here's my question to you guys. What should we do? I want to have the entire clan, I'm calling them a clan. I want to have the whole clan with their hoods. I want to have them on our podcast, all of them. Miley excluded, because I just feel like she might be busy.
No, yeah, no.
I want
totally.
Noah. I want Brandy. I want
What? Who's the brother that's like engaged?
Trace.
Trace.
I want Tish or Trish, whatever she wants to be that day. I want Daddy. I want them all. I want the dogs. I want the cat. I feel like they have a ferret, and I probably feel like
I feel like they're
going
gonna
to
be like so like the same as your family. There's gonna be like so many dogs. Do you know what I mean?
It's like my family, but with more money and less drugs. Prescription.
But the same amount of tattoos.
Same tattoos. I can't wait. I think this is going to be huge.
All right.
I'm
Well, if
very
you guys
excited.
want that to happen, you should tweet them and like tell them that. And then
By the way, I heard from another inside source. Well, just one of my my old manager who listens to the podcast. Hey, girl. She was talking about she knows the Cyruses personally, and said that through the grapevine she heard that Brandy thinks I'm hilarious.
who's Brandy?
She's Miley's sister.
Okay, sorry.
Anyways,
Isn't there Noah?
I don't think Noah likes me very much.
But she's
because
a sister too.
she's a. I mean, yeah.
Okay,
She's
so I knew
she's a
that.
huge blockbuster.
What do you mean?
Noah.
Oh.
They have so much in common.
There's too much in common.
Okay, moving on. I want that to happen. This is something we'll get to Fair Abraham time in a minute, but this is something I just want to cover really quick because it made me very angry. Oh wait, before I get to that, I just want to do a quick little side note about the podcast. You know how we used to do the whole like who's on the show today and who is not on the show today. Well, today we have Bo Burnham, who I'm very, very, very excited about.
I'm a big fan.
Big fan.
I watched his comedy special again last night. I watched some
Big
Zach.
penis.
Zach, what is it? Zach something wants to be famous. Shit.
Big arms.
Yep.
He's a big man. He's
He's
8 feet tall.
He said on his comedy special that he's a cross between a giraffe and Ellen DeGeneres. So you guys have something in common.
I think you guys have something in common because that's literally how I describe you to people that don't know you. And I actually say you're a cross between a giraffe and
Okay, wait.
and
Share?
Bethany.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Okay.
No, Bethany looks
Oh
great.
God, I could be way worse. Oh my God. Done.
And by Bethany, I meant Jeanine Garofalo. So,
Done. I'll take it.
anyways, okay, who's not on the show today is what's the woman's name from Dance Moms?
But we might get her. We're still
might?
we're still
Really?
working on it. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
well,
we're still working on that.
Okay, I'm still working on it. The
She's
fact
like
that,
in LA right now.
the fact that we have to work to get a Dance Mom makes me want to kill
You know
myself.
what? As well we should.
Here's the funny fact though about the Dance Mom. So we're in Pittsburgh, which is where Dance Moms is filmed.
So we were like, we
And-
have to get her.
And my mom comes out to visit me, not to see me, but to see the Dance Mom. So we drive like an hour to find the Dance Mom dance studio. We do all that.
Where
whole
was
stuff.
that? I wasn't with you.
It was in some bumfuck nasty town. I don't know. There was like nobody there. It was just us, a Walgreens, and a dance studio. It was great. I felt home. Anyways, so my mom is like, oh, I can't wait. I want to meet her one day. And I'm like, well, she's going to be on the podcast. And my mom literally, her vagina dropped out of her body. She had to catch it. She was like, what? And I was like, well, she was supposed to be on last week, but her mom died. And my mom goes, Glenda?
Oh my God, stop.
I was like, what? And she goes, what are you talking about? And I'm like, her mom died? I don't know. She goes,
was it her
but
mom's-
she's been struggling all season. And I thought she was going to pull through.
Stop it.
And I was like, Mom, oh my God, Mom, I'm so, a spoiler. I didn't know. I forgot it was a show and, not her real life. And my mom goes, no, wait, no, you're not serious because I've been praying every night for Glenda and I know she was going to pull through. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do? I just spoiled my mom's entire season of Dance Moms. And my mom goes, oh my God, how are they going to deal with it on the show? It's going to be heartbreaking. I was like, well, I'm more concerned about how she's dealing with it in real life, Mom.
Sure.
Because, it's real life. So then we're in a Walgreens and my mom goes, Dance Mom's mom, her old people shelter, whatever, what are they called? Old folks home? Her old folks home is right.
Shelter? What is wrong with you?
Her old folks home was right down the street from here. We should go see if she's there. And I was like, she's dead, Mom. Mom, she's dead. Mom, she's not coming back.
I hope that
Mom.
was who died, right? Because she did have a relative who died. I think it was that. I hope we didn't just start like a whole.
Oh shit! Okay, allegedly, I don't know. Somebody died.
I'm like
Dance
nervous.
Moms.
I remember she did have a family member that died. That this is
So,
true.
anyways, our thoughts and prayers go out to Dance
Thoughts
Moms.
and prayers. We hope
Dance
to,
Moms relatives, and to my mom, who is really, really heartbroken over it. Can't even breathe.
Yep. No. Totally.
Okay. Side note, really quick. Sorry, one more thing before we get to Farrah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go over this really quick because I'm so angry about it. Lindsay Lohan, I'm done.
I don't know. I'm addicted to Lindsay, the show. I mean, I'm talking about the show. It's really great, and I just love how really in touch with reality she is. It's
First of all,
pretty
it's
amazing.
not great. It's the worst show I've ever seen in my life. Nothing fucking happens.
First of all, it's not the worst show ever.
Literally every episode starts with her in her kitchen and she's like, ugh, I'm hungry. And then everybody's like, you're good, Lindsay. You shouldn't. She's like, I'm hungry. And then they make her some gross thing.
No, every episode starts with her poor assistant who is terrified of her. And he's like, today, we're trying to get Lindsay up in time for her meetings, but she is tired. So, I'm working on it. Trying to get her. I mean, he's terrified of her.
And then the fabulous black chick that I have no idea what her job is or what she does.
Oh my God. When they whiteboard her life and they start making wants and needs and what they need to do. Oh my God. I love it.
And the black chick's like, I want to get paid and I need to get the fuck out of here.
And Lindsay like yells at her and she's like, you think I deserve everything, right?
First of all, we're talking about this as if the audience has seen it.
I'm
Maybe
sorry.
you guys haven't. Let me just
good.
really quickly recap you.
Go.
Lindsay Lohan is a fucking disaster, and she needs to go away for like 10 years and sober up and chill out and be away from everybody, and then come back and like work at Walgreens.
Well, the show follows her move back to New York where she's from, and she's trying to take this chance Oprah's giving her and restart her life, and she really doesn't understand why she's not getting acting jobs. She doesn't think it has anything to do with the fact that she's been to rehab 7 times and she's like 25.
Or the fact that she took a hammer to her face and like got like hundreds of thousands of dollars of surgery to look, not human. Like, what the fuck? You know what's really weird about Lindsay? I was such a big Lindsay fan. And
Well, she was great.
I still follow her on Twitter. So I'm still rooting for her. But listen, like, why? She was a pretty girl. Why did she do that? But then sometimes she looks good on the show. And I'm like,
sometimes we know what happens. Sometimes, like, because she has those lip injections, and sometimes they like go away, and then she starts looking good again. And then in the next episode or next scene, she's got them plumped out again, and then she puts dark lipstick on. And she's like, "Hello." I mean, it's so. I don't know.
You know what? I take it back. You're a mixture of a giraffe and Lindsay Lohan 2014. Anyways, Lindsay, if you're listening to this, which you're not, please get your shit together and come on the podcast. It'd be great.
Oh my God. We have no problem with the fact that you've been to rehab. You can come on our show anytime.
I'll pay you. Speaking of hot fucking disasters, you know what time it is. God made a mistake. Oops. Farrah Abraham time. Tick, tick, tick. It's running out. So yes, Farrah Abraham has done a lot in the last 3 months. I don't know where to start. Here's where I'll start. Blowin', her new hit single, which she calls a hit. I call it a explosion. A hit to the face, an explosion from her lips.
I would like to speak, since we have a lot of experience with music, I want to speak to her engineer. I can't even hear it, but I think that was on purpose.
No, that's the point. That's the point.
Okay.
Let's just listen to a little sneak peek of it. Okay, not bad, right?
Really loud.
Oh, okay. I think she sings celery.
I thought she sang telepathy. Like mental what is that word?
She's Carrie. Being drunk and being famous.
I heard famous.
Okay. Good, we got one word.
Okay.
Going to the salad bar is pretty normal. I'm gonna get some honey mustard on this lettuce. Lettuce.
Oh my God, we haven't been to the soup plantation. It's
So long. I think that's what she's talking about. One more quickly.
Okay, what? Oh my God.
This hotel has not that many amenities. I think that's what she said. I think she's tied down in a Motel 6, and she's like, I need to get out of here. And they're like, wait, we're recording a song.
Wait, Did she do a video with that too?
Oh, she did.
She did. Oh, right. And
Just
it's like
crossed
through her Twitter, right?
Just crossed 1 million views.
Did it really? Congratulations.
About 588,000 of them are from me. So here's the thing that I found out. Farrah actually, this is not the first time she has been criminal of assault of ears. She has made other music
Well, we know that.
But this hit single has never been heard before until now.
Where'd you find it?
I got it from Farrah.
Excuse me?
I'm kidding. Farrah called me and she said, "Hey, Shan, I have a single for you." This is called Unplanned Parenthood. I found it on iTunes.
Shut up.
I'm not fucking kidding.
Shut up. Stop.
Sorry, I just farted in the mic.
Was that a lawnmower?
Oh baby,
Stop.
oh baby.
Stop.
Replace the formula and diapers with hoppers and hearts. This
Wait, can we play a game really quick?
Does it say replace? Wait. Did she just say replace eyebrows with formula? Is that what she just said?
Can we play a game? Okay, the game is called Is It Farrah Abraham's new song or A Deaf Girl Crying? What do you think this is?
bumps doesn't go away, either disappear on my face. It feels like I'm going in on this alone.
Okay, wait.
Deaf Girl.
Okay, wait. Okay, I'm just really trying. I feel like I'm deaf because I'm really trying to hear what she's
Wait,
saying.
what's the chorus? Okay, it's not that bad. Okay.
The happy ending, or let's do this trip. I can't be in denial, playing games. I think it's overrated.
Wait,
Fingers are
I
overrated.
can't be in denial. My figure's overrated.
No,
maybe?
it's what she said is I'm swimming in the Nile and my fingers are overrated.
Oh, she did
So I
not.
think what she's doing.
Where did you get the lyrics? Did you just sit there and listen to it a million times so you heard it? I mean, like,
I don't. She told them. She texted them to me. I said, "Farrah girl, Fair Bear, what are you saying?" And she sent me a text.
I
Being
thought
like,
for a
"Let me
minute she
explain."
really did sound to her. I'm really excited.
No, an exclusive.
An exclusive. Farrah Abraham. Oh my God.
I
We'd have
love
to
her so
pay
much.
so much for
Guys,
that.
please, everybody go tweet Farrah and say you want her on the podcast.
Yeah.
And you want her to premiere a song.
Yeah, and we need some I know you guys have tweeted before, but it's time to do it again because we're back. We're ready. We're
Mm-hmm. We
ready.
want
for
a live performance. Her
Yeah.
first live
Could you
performance.
imagine?
I would
Would you
come.
guys duet?
I would have to like stab myself in the ears first so I sounded like a deaf person, which
Okay.
is fine. I'm in.
Okay.
Okay. Another thing about Farrah, she is oh God, I hate everything. She is releasing a trilogy of books called Celebrity Sex Tapes in the Making. And it is a trilogy, which means 3 of them. And it is about her experience making sex tapes. It's an erotic novel. And the cover of the book is her and a guy holding a GoPro, which
Okay, wait.
which means there's going to be a lot like I don't know if you saw her sex tape, but there was a lot of things going inside of her, and none of them were penis. They were Coke bottles, they were fingers, they were rings. I think he lost his what would Jesus do bracelet. A lot of things were going inside of her. I think the GoPro, I think that's going to go right up that. And I can't wait.
It makes me tired.
It's in a waterproof case.
It all makes
Thank
me
God.
tired. Like, I don't understand.
Speaking of which, I went to this thing called Monster Palooza, which was like a horror convention in Burbank. You know, that's what I do on Fridays. And there was the company. Remember we talked about on the podcast, Farrah Abraham posed with a dead body
Yes.
in a magazine
Yes.
called like Pussy and Corpses or something.
Yes, I do remember that.
Well, I subscribed, thank God. No, and I go and they have all the magazines there, and the guy that works at the company, Farrah was all over the magazines, and there was like a cardboard cutout of Farrah. It was terrifying. And I was like, oh, wow. And the guy goes, yeah, you know who Farrah Abraham is? I'm like, actually, I know her personally and biblically. And he goes, don't we all? And I said, no, I actually do know her. And he goes, what? I was like, yeah, no, I interviewed her once. And he goes, oh, then you really know. And I'm like, really? And he's like, oh. And I'm like, she's horrible, right? He's like, yes. I'm like, no, I know. She's like the worst person ever. And he's like, oh my God. He's like, oh, being around her and a dead body, you know, it was more uncomfortable. Her. I was like, no, totally. So we like talked about Farron for like an hour. But then at the end, we both agreed.
I can't believe we're still talking about Tara.
But then at the end, we both agreed that she's a genius and we're obsessed with her. And she's, you know, she's the next Oprah.
Yeah, no, for real. I think.
Bang on, making you famous. Wait, Oprah. What was that, Oprah? From your song After Prom?
Shh, don't let it get out.
That was almost as good as Christina Aguilera's Don't Look at Me before Beautiful.
Wait, do it again. I want to hear it again.
Shh, don't let it get out.
Wait a minute. Every time I have,
what did she say?
every time.
Don't tell anybody. I'll get it out. What did she say?
She says, "Shh, don't tell, don't let it get out." Listen,
Let
literally,
what get out?
before everything I say now, I'm gonna be like, guys, I just farted.
Shh, don't let it get out.
Guys, honestly, Lisa's pregnant.
Shh, don't let it get out.
On that note, we are going to take a quick little break and we will be right back with special guest
Shh, don't let it get out.
Bo Burnham. All right, guys, see you in a minute. Okay, guys, I'm very excited today because we have some sponsors.
Yay.
Now, this first one I'm very excited about. Guys, I have a secret to tell you.
Shh, don't let it get out.
We have the best sponsor. It is called Nature Box. Every month, you can get a box of delicious snacks. And not just any snacks, not just like nasty, you know, Twinkies and crap like that. These are the real deal, right? No high fructose corn syrup. No hydrogenated oils like that are all over Lauren's face. No artificial flavors. No artificial colors like is Lauren's skin.
Right.
These are smart snacks. And rather than, you know, going to the grocery store and having to find snacks that you think are like good for you and like not gross, it takes all of that time away. You can spend your time doing something else, like sitting on the couch and eating the snacks. Dried fruits, whole wheat fig bars, granola, savory, sweet, whatever you want. And they rotate. So every month there's like a surprise. wait. Every month there's a surprise.
Shh, don't let it get out.
There's a surprise little snack in there for you, you know, just to make every month exciting, interesting. Sound tasty?
I'm
asking you.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm overwhelmed right now.
Sounds real tasty.
You have to go to naturebox.com/Shane.
Yes, naturebox.com/Shane to get not 10, not 20. Oh my God, 50% off your first. That's a lot. 50% off your first box. That's a lot. How much is your box?
Definitely more than that.
So yes, get the snacks that you can feel good about at naturebox.com/Shane for 50% off of your first box. And I actually use this company, guys.
Yeah.
That's how I keep my unique
Your girlish figure. Please so support them. They are supporting us and they keep this podcast going for
They keep
you.
the podcast going and they also keep my figure looking great.
Shh, don't let it get out.
naturebox.com/Shane.
Okay, guys, we're back and
Welcome
I am
to the
so excited.
all
No,
right, it's your
you
job.
You go.
No, please, it's your podcast. I
No,
forgot.
please, I want to hear everything that comes out of your face.
No, please don't.
Oh my God, I'm
I-
so giggly. I'm so starstruck right now.
Lauren is freaking. I've never seen you excited about anything.
I'm really excited. I'm a genuine, like everybody else in the podcast, like I don't really care about. Like all the other guests. Like I'm a genuine fan.
Yeah,
Genuine.
well, I appreciate that, Shane, you stuck to my request to have 3 inches of plexiglass in between.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate that. She's
Lauren
trying to
is-
scratch through it.
I
and
can
she's
still
not making
smell
a
you.
dent.
I can
Caged
still
up.
smell you.
No, Lauren, you know, it's funny. Like, nobody in my life cares about me or cares about anything that I do.
Yeah.
But the second that I say that you're coming on, everybody in my life is instantly excited and, you know, wants to come and wants to be here, wants to meet you. And I said no to all of them. Fuck them.
Wait, I want to know. So you guys have never met before, which I didn't understand. Go. Discuss.
Okay.
Okay.
So here's how I met you.
Yeah.
It was like 6 years ago or something, and this is the precursor. I was on like Blog TV or something terrible, and you were doing like a live show, but you were in your bed, and you were like, I think you were shirtless. I don't know what was happening, but you were
That
like
doesn't sound right, but like blogtv.com doing a live web. Okay.
doing a web thing. We were
I really hope that me in my bedroom think I'm alone making a blog is not when you met me without me knowing. It's like, and I was in your mulberry bush.
Well, this is what happened. You were talking, and you were so mean to people.
Oh,
like the fans
no.
were like being like, "I love you, Bo. I love you, Bo," and you were just like, "You don't love me. Shut up." And you were so like brutally honest, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm scared. Like, and I never ever want to meet him. I'm terrified."
Did you kind of want to be him so you could be that brutally
little
honest with
bit, a
people?
little bit.
Yeah.
So then, literally like 2 weeks later, I was like at Universal Studios, and some kid ran up to me and goes, "Oh my god, are you Bo Burnham?" And I said, and he was like, "Let's take a picture." And I was like, "Oh no, I'm Shane Dawson." He goes, "Oh, never mind," and walked away. So I was like, "That's weird." But then I looked in front of me, and like, I don't know, 30, maybe 40 feet in front of me was you.
It was like you saw this.
So obviously this
tall-
kid had heard you were there or something, and he was looking for you, and you were in front of me, and it was from behind, and you were holding hands with a girl.
Wasn't me. Doesn't sound right.
Spoiler alert. And it was from behind it, and I was like so scared to go up to you, terrified, because I was like, he was so mean in that Blog TV chat. I'm like, what if he's going to be mean to me and he's going to call me like fat? I don't know what he's going to do. So I never went up to you, but I tweeted you, and then you tweeted me back and said you should have said something. And then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't recall the Blog TV era. I mean, maybe I was in a bad time. I mean, I guess I was doing that 6 years ago, 5 years ago. I guess when the few times I did Blog TV, it's just such a ridiculous medium where you're just sitting there with a guitar and people are like, well, for me, and people are like, oh, you're so. So I'm like, I think the whole joke was for me.
well, no,
just
what I
to
what I
shit on
noticed
everyone.
about it though
Are
was
we able to cuss?
oh
Oh,
please.
please.
Okay, yeah.
More.
That you could I
Well, I
think
looked
of
it-
myself as a nice person.
So
don't
do
think I'm
I.
mean to
So I looked
people.
it up, and I was like, and this was back then. I was like, oh, why is he actually an asshole, or is this an act? Because I was like, is this? And it was an act. It said on, I don't know if you know this, on your Wikipedia page, it says that your persona is a snarky asshole, but in reality, you're a very sweet, sensitive guy.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Well, I guess no, I don't know
Which
if my
part don't you know? The nice part?
no, I think when I was first starting comedy, when I was probably 16, or I guess I was 17 back then when you watched that Blog TV thing, I had a very specific idea, I think, of what I thought a comedian was, and I was very obsessed with sort of being like edgy and cool and dark and offensive and everything. And then I kind of quickly learned that I think that like that sort of edginess is actually not edgy at all. It's sort of the center of what everybody wants, you know? And nowadays I've sort of found that like I think the most daring thing you can do, at least on stage, I feel like as a comedian, is be sort of sweet and honest. You know, if you get up and say like Jews or whatever. I'm just saying
Sure,
it's,
sure, sure.
it's pretty, it's pretty bread and butter for America right now. I don't know.
I
But
was-
I've always been sort of, and this is where I've always needed to keep a huge distance from my persona and the way I actually am, just because I have a lot of anxiety towards that and being known by a lot of people. I think it's great if you can be so comfortable with a lot of people and let people in. I think that's a real gift to some people. But for me and what I feel like I can do, I need that distance.
No, I'm 100% fake. Like that's my that's my goal. Is somebody asked me, they were like, "Oh, how do you deal with people being so mean to you on YouTube?" I'm like, "Cause it's not me. It's a character." And like I laugh at it because I'm like, "Yeah, Shane Dawson is a fucking stupid asshole." Because I'm Shane fucking from Long Beach. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Yeah.
From the LBC.
Wait, so where are you from? Like, let's go. Let's.
I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, just like 20 minutes north of there, from a little town called Hamilton,
Sure.
the North Shore of Boston.
I'm from.
Yeah, and I don't think I have a terrible accent. I say like popcorn. I get that pretty bad.
Wait, what?
Popcorn instead of popcorn, I say popcorn, and that's about
Popcorn?
But like my father and my mother, everyone has a pretty vicious
they're like
Boston
they're like
accents.
Johnny fucking Damon, like those kind of.
Yeah.
What? So how did you start comedy at 17? How does that work?
It was basically like I was sort of obsessed with stand-up comedians when I was younger. Really loved them, and I did basically theater my whole life. That's what I loved to do, and that's what I was going to go to college for before I dropped out to do stand-up. And then I'd stumbled on like Stephen Lynch and some sort of people that did musical comedy, and I thought I was taking piano at the time. I just started learning piano, so I was like, oh, let's try this out. So basically. Sort of backstage at summer theater at my high school, I would just sort of play little songs for my friends that I liked. This was back like in 2006. And then someone said, hey, you should put it on YouTube so you can like show your brother or show other people. And this is back when like the paradigm of YouTube, I didn't even know that it was a thing. Like at that time, I don't think it had proven itself to be able. So it was like the first time I heard the word YouTube is when I had put it up. And then, it just sort of started. And then I was like, oh, okay, so this is happening.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it's sort of it's sort of at arm's length distance away from it because I was like, yeah, it's fun to do funny songs and stuff, but I really love theater. I really like making theater and acting and all this stuff, and I didn't really see from my vision of it, musical comedy didn't really have what I wanted out of it. You know, I didn't want to just sit around and play dirty. And when I started, really did feel like I was just like a little kid playing dirty, offensive songs or whatever. And then it wasn't until I found other musical comedians, people like Tim Minchin, this Australian comedian, or there's a lot of amazing comedians let me know that, oh, wow, I actually can do all the things I want in theater, in comedy. You know, I can. It isn't just about sitting there playing silly songs or something.
The second you even said the word theater, I heard Lauren's vagina. I heard it lubing.
Well, you are the only woman in the world, I think, that has that reaction to the word theater.
Oh, she's like, he's so tall.
I'm
he
like,
does theater. She's rolling up her sleeve.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm a
Her
fan.
plexiglass is steamed up.
I'm so,
completely.
it's so steamy right now.
This is the part that actually like terrified me and I did not know this until I looked at your Wikipedia page, which is because you haven't done a Draw My Life, so I had to watch your Wikipedia. That's the way.
I know Wikipedia is so dangerous. What do you say? I don't.
You don't know what a Draw My Life is?
What is that?
Oh
you're
my
missing
god!
out.
Oh my
Draw
god!
Okay, so every time I interview somebody the night before, I'll watch their Draw My Life video on YouTube just to see who they are. And Draw My Life is this fad that was going around where YouTubers would draw their whole life and do voiceover. So it's like, and then my dad beat me, and then I got cancer, and now I made YouTube videos and I'm making a lot of money. Like that's so good. Rebecca Black's, you need to watch.
Okay,
Oh my
and
God.
he was making a drawing motion while he was saying that. So just I wanted the listeners to know that I was getting a full picture of that, but I want to make sure they did too.
I really drew it. But you did not do one, so I had to look you up on Wikipedia. I know everything about you, but I want to find more.
Yeah, the worry about Wikipedia is that I haven't looked at mine recently, but from questions I get from like someone that may read it and then ask me questions is like, since it draws from very specific articles or something, people think that like I've had huge controversy. Basically, I had one show that was protested like 6 years ago at a college by like the Black Student Union. They had like lyrics that just had signs that had just had like misquoted lyrics. It's complete. It was a one-off thing, but since it's like on my Wikipedia page, I think under like a headlining, a headline called controversy. I get asked about it all the time. I'm like, it really isn't anything. I'm totally not controversial. And again, I would say like I really think doing like that kind of edgy stuff I did, I think is actually the least controversial stuff nowadays.
I mean, literally the first you're right. The first sentence on your Wikipedia page is, Bo is best known for writing songs about white supremacy, Helen Keller's disabilities, homosexuality, and more.
I know, that's terrible.
I
mean,
will say the funny. I'm in
scares
the other
me.
room, and my husband was watching your special, and he starts like cackle, like, and I was like in and out watching. This is like a few months ago. And then he was in the Heil Hitler thing when you were in the, you know what I'm talking.
Yeah.
I mean, he was. I mean, still like, and I watched it last night, and he was just like waiting for it. He was so excited.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just this whole thing. Well, tell him what you do.
Well,
I've seen this special.
I mean,
well, maybe tell the kids out there what you do.
Well, out of context, that Heil Hitler thing, it's in a song basically. Saying, well, it's in a thing basically saying that I do think young male pop stars. One Direction, Justin Bieber, or a lot of it. It basically, their songs, they're not written by them. They're basically engineered, I believe, to prey on the weaknesses of young girls. And I think it's basically done in a cyclical way that it's basically like the magazines that have the kids on the cover of them makes the girls feel like shit, makes them feel you're not pretty enough, you're not good. So the girls read the magazines, they basically feel like shit about themselves. And then the kids that are in the magazines sing songs that say you're perfect, you're just the way you are, you don't need to change a goddamn thing, right?
Nothing.
You're perfect. And then they become a fan of One Direction, so then they buy the next magazine that One Direction's on the cover of that says the exact opposite in the thing. You need to change this. They feel shitty again. Then they need the next song, and then they need the next magazine. And basically, I just at one point was like, yeah, it's basically like Hitler.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
I mean, it's just,
It's the same thing. Yeah,
But I'm saying, so
Yeah.
it's like bums me out when I'm like, oh, when I like look at when I hear the Wikipedia page, I'm like, in the beginning, like for example, I had a song about like a love song with Helen Keller, and I do not like it, but I really don't like it. I would remove it out of principle if anyone really asked me to. I don't want to because I know it's out there or anything. I don't like that song. I think it was mean. I think that people the thought that like a little deaf girl in like 7th grade had one of my lyrics quoted at her and felt like a piece of shit makes me sad. You know, that and not saying my stuff nowadays isn't edgier stuff, but I think it's edgy for a purpose. Yes, I'm hailing Hitler, but I'm hailing Hitler for the purpose of pointing out something I think is wrong. In some of the early stuff, I think I was just trying to be mean, to be mean or something. So when the Wikipedia page is like, yeah, he writes songs about, and like to equate like white supremacy and homosexuality, I'm like, oh Jesus, I sound like such a villain.
I got so excited. I was like, ooh. I was like, because, you know, I've been watching your videos forever, but I was like, I don't remember any, like, Helen Keller. I'm like, ooh, I got to look this up. I'm very excited. But the one thing that I found out that was more terrifying and more offensive than anything was, how are you only 23?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Oh,
It's upsetting.
How are you 2 years younger than me?
How are you
You've
like
done
only,
so much
like-
more than me.
How am I only like a year younger than you? Yeah.
I mean, I know that's not really a question. You
Do
can't
we want to
really
go
answer
into the biology of it?
I want to
Like,
know
do we want-
exactly how.
Well, my mother and my father loved each
Wait,
other
so-
very much.
So
Kind
wait,
of.
how are you? Okay, wait. So you? Okay, I'm trying.
Yeah,
to
wait,
piece this
let's back
together.
it up. So you 17, you're doing videos on YouTube, and then how
Yeah.
did you end up in Los Angeles sitting right here?
Oh well, but yeah, the thing is, you
And
know,
tell us the short
and
version. Let's not go
you
crazy.
probably know this too, Shane. You know, is that like, I think probably people talk about like viral stars or whatever is this just sort of like meteoric, instantaneous rise sort of thing. And even though the numbers get a little weird and stuff, I mean, with your stuff, it's pretty incremental. I mean, like people would think that it was this overnight success thing basically online. It really isn't, I don't think. I'm not saying that I paid my dues or anything like a comedian that did it for 10 years, like Louis C.K. did it for 15 years, then, you know, has a few breaks, a few setbacks, then crashes through or whatever. But basically it was, 16, 17, I was posting online. Then I sort of got an agent. I started doing live stuff. And immediately when I started doing live stuff, I pulled away from online just because I was a theater person. And it wasn't like, it had nothing to do with money or anything. I loved live performance. The fact that my YouTube stuff was giving me an opportunity to perform live, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do it live. And I know that if I posted the song and then I performed it live, I mean, if you're in the room, it's night and day versus an audience that's heard this song versus an audience that hasn't. If they haven't, you get the laughs right in the room. And I would so much rather, I've always said I'd rather have 200 people in the room laugh than read 2,000 people, you know, typing ha 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 or whatever. For me. So anyway, so I started I started like opening for Joel McHale, who's that, and like just doing like little 10-minute sets before
Is he
him.
funny?
He's really funny and actually he's actually really good stand up.
Really?
Surprisingly,
He's
yeah.
really tall too.
And I mean, just he's a really good stand because you would think that he could easily get up and just do stand up like The Soup, where he just does celebrity stuff, and he did some of that, but he did really funny stuff about his kids. And what was crazy is this was like his first year trying it, and he was going out headlining theaters, and he is like obscenely nice, obscenely nice.
Okay.
Like I ran into him in the Grove, like, and I hadn't seen him in 3 years since I did it, and I was like, no, and he came out, he was so nice and very. But anyway, so I was opening for him, and then I sort of started doing my own little shows, and then I got my I got a half-hour special on Comedy Central, and that was 2008, right after my 18th birthday, right before I was going to go to NYU to study like experimental theater, and I taped that like a week before I was going to enroll, and then I just decided to drop out, or not drop out. Basically, I was a year young for my grade, so I decided. I could defer and take a year off and then try this comedy thing for a year. And if it didn't work out, I could go back and just have my, college life waiting for me. And then over the year,
ETW usually go in straight and come out gay. I know a lot of people that did that.
is that what happens?
The experimental theater.
That's
wing.
what Lady Gaga did, right?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
she
what-
went in probably talented and came out like Lady
Crazy.
Gaga.
Yeah, no, that's a specific thing.
That's where you like shit on stage and stuff.
It's
right?
like where you like
Yeah.
pretend to be a spoon for like 8 hours a day or something. And the thing is,
That's
it's
not
like,
all NYU theater. That's very specific.
no. And you know what?
part.
Like I was very interested in physical theater, like
would've been- yeah.
Grotowski and stuff, and like, but I really liked this sort of theory of theater and all that stuff. And I think I might have chose a little poorly in that experimental theater. I think is sort of the most out there kids that I might have been slightly annoyed with because they weren't very grounded. And you know what I mean? But anyway, so then I did stand up for that year. I put out a CD, and then like 2 years later, I put out my first hour special on Comedy Central. That was in 2010, and then I took 3 years off to make this new one. And
Oh my God.
What
and-
does that mean? You took 3 years off?
I mean, it took this new one that just came out. It was 3 years between the last one and this one, you
Wow.
know. And so I was getting tweets every day from, "Are you dead? Whatever happened to him? What you know?"
Were you going around town, around the country, like doing the stand up and working on the act? and
Sort
that's-
of, yeah. And I just kept revising this hour, you know. And Louis C.K. had sort of set up this new, you know, Louis C.K. is a stand-up, the
Right.
biggest stand-up in America. Sort of made this new model for stand-up where you turn over an hour every single year, you know, and everyone was sort of doing that. But for me, I was like, I can't do that, and I really want to try to make a
Well, your
specific
stuff
type
is
of show.
yeah, and your stuff is so
Oh my God.
big, and there's so much going on. I was like so tired watching it. I was like, oh my God, how's he doing this? Like I was like worn out.
Oh, the dancing, the singing,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
lip
The
syncing,
water spitting.
the
Yeah.
water spitting, the bottle fell down, but he meant to do that. I was dying.
Oh, wonderful. But yeah. So it was a little bit weird, and but yeah. So
How did you deal with this? Is something I'm interested in because I'm hoping at some point in the near future I'll be able to cross over to the mainstream type of thing like you've done. The thing I'm scared about is there's a difference between getting a comment on YouTube that says this sucks versus getting like a Washington Post article saying this sucks. Like how did you deal with
Critics?
actual reviews?
yeah, I don't think I definitely don't, and this is not me being humble or anything. I don't think I'm in the mainstream really. I think I have a very particular pocket of people that know me and enjoy me, and that's really nice. You know, again, I think there's like a bit of there still is for all of us, you know, a bit of a stigma on certain mediums that you can't really like separate. You know, if you're doing, you know, when my hour was on Comedy Central, it felt so much different. I felt like it was in a whole new area, even though it was no. And this last hour, I paid for myself, you know, out of
Oh, really?
all the spare money I had.
Wow.
Yeah, because I didn't want to take notes from people. I didn't, you know, so I paid for it myself and then released it on my YouTube
That's
channel
really like
and
a
on Netflix.
Louis C.K. model. Like,
Yeah. And except I couldn't really. Louis had all these fans where you could charge him $5, you know, and I felt like there were people that had seen my stuff that maybe didn't like me but would like this new stuff, so I wanted to try to give it away for
Would
free.
you?
for
And
that.
it was direct to Netflix. Like that's how it came out.
And on YouTube in the
And
same.
just-
Basically, I went to Netflix and I said Netflix came to me and said we would take your new special for X amount of money, and I said okay, but I also want to release for free on YouTube. What would you give me for that? And they said half of X. You know, we'd give you half the money. And I was like, okay, yeah, that seems fair.
Wow.
But anyway, so but like the most of criticism I've had is like when I did the Edinburgh Festival in Scotland. It's a big comedy festival where people review your things, and yeah, I had some people review my show on MTV, but that's another thing. But for me, the thing is, what's strange is that like with everyone feeling like they're a critic and everyone, you know, there actually is a group of professionals that are critical, and actually like if the right critics are engaging with you, it'll be less daunting than everything, because criticism, I think, should be not destructive. It should be like productive. You know what I mean? You're looking at someone's piece of work and saying to the audience, okay, this is maybe why it does work. This is maybe why it doesn't work. This is how it maybe could improve, but this is what it's accomplishing. I mean, a lot of critics for me, theater critics or comedy critics, made me realize, oh, wow, I'm now realizing what my act is, because I couldn't pull myself out of it. But hearing someone that knows comedy really well or knows live entertainment really well and is putting mine into context, I'm now understanding a little bit more, as opposed to critics online, which I think are just like mindless hatred or mindless vitriol, you know? So,
Although sometimes they're smart.
yeah, no, but I mean, they can cut seriously deep. I mean, I said the first comment I ever read on one of my videos was "Go go gadget faggot." That was the first comment. I was like, "Welcome to the internet." But I don't feel like I've read the mainstream. You know what I mean? And I not that I have a choice, but I would never want to be so big where you're written about. I mean, that seems obscene and horrible and terrible. You know?
Well,
and
it's going to happen because you're humble about it, but you're very famous, and you're going to get even more famous. than
yeah,
that.
well, that's nice, but yeah.
Listen, when my brother doesn't know shit about nothing. Like, I mean, literally, he doesn't
nice
know.
to say.
He knows about vapor. He's really good at. He sells e-cigs. I love him so much. He knows all the flavors. No, he's really smart, but he doesn't know anything about pop culture or anything about anything. Him and all his friends are obsessed with you. When that happens, that's when I know somebody's famous. Like when my brother knows who they are and like likes them, I'm like,
nice.
oh, that's it.
Well, I mean, because I'm as I said, a big fan. I'm still
Wait,
gushing.
back to the one thing that I'm curious about. Lauren just won't stop talking about what she loves.
I'm sorry.
The
Very
MTV
talented.
situation.
Yeah.
No, I mean situation. I don't know why that's a situation.
Sure,
It's a
no.
show.
Well, they're all
Wait,
situations.
should we talk about you two having the same sort of love interest co-stars?
That's what I was getting.
Okay.
Oh my God!
All
Yes,
That's what I was
yes.
getting to.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
All right.
Caitlin Gerard.
Uh-huh.
How do you say it?
Gerard.
Gerard. You
Go.
know, me and her,
Yeah. No.
made a little closed teeth kissing.
Yeah.
She had a closed teeth rule. She
Is
was
there-
very,
is
she was
there
very
other?
set on it.
There's other types.
She was terrified of me, like horrified of me. I don't know if she'd ever admit this, but she was like, "I don't really do this," and I'm like, "I don't know what you think I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna literally kiss you with my teeth closed." Anyways, I think she had just shot the show, so
Yeah.
of course I instantly was like, "Tell me everything." Oh my god, I'm so obsessed with it. Anyways, the show comes out and I really liked it. And then I saw an article saying from MTV or whoever saying that they were thinking about canceling it because the audience didn't understand that it was fake. And then it made me angry because I'm like, are people that fucking stupid?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, it's like I was trying to go into it. People that don't know, I basically made a mockumentary on MTV. Mockumentary sort of like The Office or something. It was called Zach Stone's Gonna Be Famous, and it was a show about a kid that was about to go to college, decided not to, and use all of his money that he was going to use for college to hire a camera crew to film his life because he wants to be famous, because he just has a passion for fame and nothing else. And every week was sort of him trying to be famous for a different reason and failing. So my idea sort of was, when I had the idea for the show, it's like, oh man, what if we sold this to MTV? What if we sort of Trojan horse this concept and talked about the problem at the place where the problem is being encouraged and spread, which I think is just like an obsession with fame for fame's sake, whereas, unless you have a passion to do something and then you happen to be in the field of something that when you have a passion for it, you get popular for it or whatever. So I was sort of expecting it. It was a bit of a compliment because we wanted to shoot the show very realistically. We wanted the dialogue to seem very conversational and real. So it was a compliment when that happened. But I mean, like when we're struggling and, when I feel like MTV didn't really advertise us at all or push the show at all. And like Teen Wolf's airing, and I'm seeing tweets that are like, "Why does this Zach Stone kid have a show? I want to be famous. Can I have a show?" And I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Like, this is it, man. It's
Can we
rock.
talk about Biff
It's
being
rock
your
and
dad?
roll. Yeah, he's
Dude.
Tom Wilson. Yeah,
Dude.
yeah, he's a great guy.
Back to the Future.
Wait, so what was the process of? Because I've had a few. I'm like, now I'm like, well, how much should I say? Listen, I don't know. Maybe MTV. Maybe they're great. I don't know. I've had
few near misses.
I
Should we
think
say that?
they are not the smartest people I've ever talked to. And how long was the process of getting that show? Because when I was excited that the show was coming out, but in my head I'm like, how did he get them to get this? Because they're so fucking stupid. I'm like, how did this happen?
The people I worked with MTV, the executives I worked with were actually very, very cool and got the show and got on board with it. There were certain fights, there were certain concessions and compromises being made, but I didn't think they damaged the show. I think they probably improved them in a lot of places. That was really great, and the people I worked with were really great. There was actually a funny thing where there was a bit of a regime change, as there always is, before the show came out. So basically, when the show was airing, everyone there never worked in the show, so they didn't really care. And it makes sense. I mean, it was just sort of unfortunate. It really wasn't the fault of the new regime or anything. We just kind of got really unlucky.
Who did you write the show with? Because I saw you created it with somebody else.
My friend Dan Lagana.
Is that somebody
yeah,
you
he's
work with
a writer. He's like 10 years older than me. We sort of met out here, and then we realized we grew up 20 minutes away from each other.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, basically, I know there are people that have a canceled show and then they're like, "Oh man," and rally the fans or whatever, But I got to make 12 episodes of television, all of which I really liked. I actually got to end the show in the way I wanted to end the show. I basically didn't have an idea for a second season. That was sort of the ending I always had. So in my mind, it's like, if I get to do that again, fucking sweet, man. That was absolutely awesome. I mean, I just feel like to try to complain or bitch about the fact that I got to make 12 episodes of my own show it feels ridiculous.
Well, that was
like a total victory.
Yeah, one of the first hate comments I got was back in 2008, and it was some kid being like, "Oh God, somebody just give this Shane guy an MTV show and let it get canceled after a season." And I was like, That sounds great.
I know. That sounds amazing.
Like being able to have anything under my belt and people take me more seriously, because I'm sure having the show under your belt now, everybody's like, oh, you can actually do something. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. There's a strange stigma towards online content from probably distributors and stuff, but I mean that question's just going to be resolved as your own distribution gets better and better, and they're going to realize they're needed less and less. And when their profit goes down, they're going to turn probably to people like you. And I know it's hard. It's hard not to define your own worth based off of what you feel other people think of it, and that it was the same thing for me. But yeah, I've just been trying to work to be happy, to really try to be happy with making stuff and doing stuff, because that's what I really, really love.
Well, what's your next, what's Lauren's just going to ask you another.
this is funny.
So why are you so great?
So, like, what do you think of me? Anyway,
So what are you working on next? I mean, I know,
Wait, before that, can we take a quick break real quick?
Oh, wait. Oh, damn, I was going to, never mind. My phone's over there. I was going to do this secret joke. Yeah, we're going to take a quick little break, talk about one of our awesome sponsors. And when we come back, not only are we going to talk about what he's doing next, we're going to give him some of the weirdest fucking Twitter questions from his fans that I've ever read. And also my mom is going to call in with the last question. All right, you guys, our second sponsor today is really cool. It is called Ting. It is a phone company. And listen, I don't know about you, but I'm paying so much on my phone bill, like probably like $200, maybe $300, because I have all these minutes and I have all this Wi-Fi and I have all this and all that, and I'm posting my nudes. That takes a lot of megabytes. Well, let's be honest, minibytes.
And most companies, you just pay, no matter if you use it or not, you pay the same amount every.
Yeah, like a flat fee.
Right.
Well, guys, what if I was to tell you that there's a way that you only pay for what you use?
What?
Don't let it get out.
Yes. Yes, it is a big secret. Ting is a phone company where you only pay for what you use. So if you only call somebody and you talk for like 2 minutes, which is how all of my conversation with Lauren goes, you only pay for that 2 minutes. You can actually go to ting.com or shane.ting.com, and you can put in your actual phone bill as it is right now, your usage for last month, and it'll tell you how much you would save if you started using Ting.
Hold on. I did this. And this is no joke, you guys. I put in my actual bill and all like the minutes I use, the text messages, the megabytes, everything. In 2 years, if I signed up for Ting, I would save, are you ready for it? $625.92.
That's actually a lot of money. And that's actually, that's we could probably get fair on the podcast with that money.
By the way.
So guys, if you want fair on the podcast, go to shane.ting.com. You'll get $25 off of a new device or in-service credit if you use that link. So guys, I mean, this is pretty cool. You pay for what you use. They have great rates, no mysterious line items on your bill, unlimited devices on one account. Really good customer support.
No, they're awesome. I actually really, I think this company is amazing. And obviously everybody uses their cell phones nonstop. So this is perfect for kids because you pay for what you use.
And also you don't have to sign a contract. I don't know about you, but back when I was with T-Mobile, don't get me started, girl. I had to go in there all the time and try to cancel. They'd get mad at me. They'd put me at like a knife point, and I'd end up not canceling because it costs so much money. Well, this way, because it's your own device, you don't have to pay any early termination fees if you choose to leave. And you don't have to sign a contract.
Nothing.
And it's better the more family members you add. Pay a flat fee of $6 per month on one account. Each device pools usage, minutes, text, and megabytes all on one account. So the more you use, the Ting rates just get better.
I mean, I'm telling you.
Ting.
This is perfect for me because I can't handle commitment. So I'm going to go to shane.ting.com. That's shane.ting.com.
And get you 25% off. All right, you guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of the show. And let me just tell you, it's a good one.
Don't let it get out.
And we're back. Okay, listen. I know I have some weird fucking kids that watch my shit. Your demo is college and really fucking weird. And the reason I know this is because of the tweets that I got last night.
But just no, but it's not necessarily. This isn't my demographic. This is the middle diagram of my and yours demographic.
The crossover.
Yeah. This is the right because this is the people that know both of us.
Oh God,
Oh,
that
okay.
makes
This is
sense.
a terrible tornado of people.
So from our terrible tornado.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Terrible tornado people. I'm sorry. They're all wonderful.
Jen says, Bo, really, I want to know, what's your worst diarrhea story?
That's my worst. I think my life is one pretty bad diarrhea story. My stomach's not great in general.
I could tell that.
Yeah.
I could tell. There's a lot of anxiety going on over there.
Yeah. I keep
get
it
it.
in my gastrointestinal
Yeah.
tract. So
Do you ever feel nervous about diarrheaing? I actually diarrheaed before you came in because I never get nervous, but I got nervous before you came in.
Diarrheaed.
I diarrheaed. I diared. I killed that bathroom. Anyways, do you ever get nervous about diarrheaing or pooping like in public places?
Or like on stage.
no,
Yeah,
I
how do you
mean,
do that?
well, public places. I've always been like fine to go in public.
I'm right there
Pretty
with-
much.
I
I
am
mean,
right
I have
there with you.
anxiety. I have like anxiety, like in like airports for like. I'm very conscious of the fact that other people would be able to hear me outside of the bathroom.
How do you fit on airplanes?
So the way I'm very collapsible. So the only way, so the way I solve that isn't to like cover my own sounds as I'm making it, other people hear. I just put in my headphones and blast it so that I can't hear the fact that I'm doing it, and then it's like it doesn't exist.
That's smart.
And then on stage, for me, I've always had adrenaline where my body frees. I never have to go to the bathroom or anything because my body is just pumping adrenaline. But I'm very, very nervous.
Oh, but
before
then
every show.
right afterward, it's all fucking downhill.
Basically, I mean, I've had things where I've like broken my thumb on stage and really didn't know until I stepped off stage and was like, ow. You know, it's like that's the bad thing is like stage really is like a huge, huge adrenaline rush. It's like I never would never do cocaine or anything because I hear what people do and I'm like, that just sounds like the really worst part of being on stage and everything. I'm just like having my heart race and being like, that's not good. Don't do drugs.
Maybe
Don't do drugs.
Maybe
Just go
Lindsay
on stage.
Lohan, we were talking about her earlier. Maybe she can just like do stage.
Do
Yeah.
stage. That's gonna be a new. We're gonna call it
Do
that.
stage. Yeah.
Do stage.
Do stage.
Yo, baby, you done stage?
It's gonna- okay, well,
Yo,
this
girl,
is a new
you
viral
own
campaign.
stage.
Do stage. Bo Burnham. Hashtag.
This is a question from Oham, and it says, and this is all caps, by the way. Okay, good lord. I'm in some crazy dude's dental office and his niece is trying to bring me home with her. Help! What should I do, Bo?
I'm in some.
By the way, that was 8 hours ago, so sorry.
I also like that I'm in some crazy dude's dental office rather than like I'm at the dentist. So I think that means that she's probably not getting work done. She's just at some crazy dude's dental office. This guy has multiple offices, one of which is a dental office. Yeah. If you got time to tweet,
You got to.
Then you're fine.
yeah, you're fine. Help yourself.
I agree. Jeffrey wants to know, what is your favorite type of potato? With like 10 question marks.
Sweet, right?
Oh no,
Really?
I can't handle sweet potatoes.
What?
Sweet potato fries, get them away from me.
Why?
Jesus Christ.
Oh God, we're over.
What do we want? Like, what do you? I mean, Jesus Christ! You're like, it's like a fucking
It's a
potato
genius.
fucked a squash. Or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, get it
So
away.
you're not
from
into
me.
the sweet?
I'm no, not into sweet potato. I mean,
Wow.
this is a verb, but I'd say mashed. That'd be my favorite type of potato.
Okay, interesting. Peel or no peel?
In the mash, you gotta peel it. Yeah, get that skin out of there.
Oh, interesting. This is
God.
just really big, interesting questions on the
Yeah,
Shane and
yeah,
Friends
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
I want to go back really quick, just to just okay. Here we are.
Back to the dental office
Back
question.
to the dental office question. I asked you that. Oh, this is just something because I feel like you have a lot of anxiety because I have a lot of anxiety and I can smell it on
And he
other
keeps
people.
talking about all the anxiety he has.
That
Very
too.
perceptive.
How are you dealing with? And this is just something people wanted me to talk about for some reason. Earthquakes.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I don't have anxiety. I don't have a lot of general anxiety. I'm a pretty happy person in my normal life. Yeah, like I don't really have. I'm not scared of my health or earthquakes. I'm pretty fine with.
But you know the big one is coming.
Yeah.
In the next like couple days.
Yeah, bring it on.
Like you're like okay with it.
Yeah, rock and roll.
What are we gonna do?
Like, yeah, what? I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Like, Lisa came to me yesterday and she goes, Shane, I think we need to get buckets of water. And I said, why? She goes, because of earthquake. And I'm like, but what are buckets of water going to do? They're going to fall over and then there's going to be water everywhere. So it's like, I'm freaking out because I don't know how
Wait.
to
She meant
prepare.
like fresh water in case.
I'm like, why would we need water?
Why would you put it in a bucket?
I don't know.
Why would you
I think
like
that's
an
more the
open
question.
bucket?
I just read an article. They were like,
So that
what
we're-
happens when people are like in surgery during these earthquakes? And I'm like,
They're fucked.
I have been thinking about this for years.
Shit.
I actually would think of more of like, what if you're getting a bikini wax during an earthquake? What if
That's
you're,
not that bad.
Yeah, but I feel like that
I
could,
mean-
that could just rip off the strip.
Sure, but you guys have never dealt with that. Like, I don't want hot wax on my like thing, like there, like it's on the side, like that. The little things I've thought about because that could just happen.
No, I never thought of that. That's pretty funny.
I did. My dad is an eye surgeon, and I did ask him that. And so basically, like the laser for the LASIK, it actually, if it feels tremors, it stops immediately.
Wow.
So that's all I know.
well, that's fine.
Oh,
but
wow,
then what
that's
if you're getting
amazing.
like open
Heart
fucking
surgery?
No,
surgery?
yeah, if it's like a
no,
scalpel.
I agree, but that's all I have. That's the only answer I
Do
have.
they just leave you and go into a doorway, and then your body is just
I don't know.
open?
No, and I would wonder if like the hospitals had insurance policies based off of that.
oh,
Like,
I'm sure.
Like if an earthquake happens, you can't
Act of
say
God.
we're liable.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Crazy.
I know, that's
I never
what
thought about that.
Well, now you're going to be
So,
anxious about earthquakes.
Well, now I am because I'm getting into brain surgery, so
Mhm.
I'm
You're
terrified
go-
of it.
mhm. Big brain. That
I'm
was
just
actually
worried
my
for my
next question.
practice.
Is, how nervous are you about your brain surgery? Oh, how weird that came up. No, speaking of really, really, really weird, what we are going to do is we are going to call my mom. She's going to have the last question. I don't know
But I
what
don't
it's
want
going
it
to
to
be.
end.
I know. Well, you guys can have a little talkie-talkie after the show. I never know
You look
what it's.
so terrified.
It's okay. Can we start filling her cube up with water now? You promised that we got to Psycho to watch her slowly drown by the end of this.
Wait, did you snort or did you snort? It was you? I like that you just snorted. Wait, actually, I just noticed on my phone because it popped up. Before we call my mom, I have to get your opinion on this because somebody tweeted me asking. I'm pretty sure this was one of my people because I feel like your people are smarter than this. They wanted to know, hey, Bo, this is from Tina. Hey, Bo, what are your thoughts on Farrah Abraham's new music? Do you know who Farrah Abraham is?
I do. I mean,
We talk about
I
her a
like
lot.
how it's like that's the question rather than have you heard Farrah Abraham? It's like, well, it's a given. You know.
Obviously.
But yeah. So she's the one Teen Mom did the sex tape. Okay. So I mean, I think I've.
Personally documented film that was not supposed to be released. Anyways,
I mean.
time capsule, she
Don't
said.
believe what you read.
Oh, okay, but you know.
Yeah, no,
obviously not true.
she said it was. She
I mean,
said
there's
it,
like
no.
there's like multiple angles, and it's like well lit.
No, she said, literally, she said, you know, like when you're in grade school and you make a time capsule with your class and like you throw like your hair bow in there and like a picture of your family and then like 10 years later you look at it. She's like, that's what this was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Except instead they were putting a lot of things like in her vagina.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I saw some of it. Yeah.
Really? Did you see the Coke can?
No, maybe I didn't see that.
She put a Coke can inside of her vagina. Anyways, moving on.
What do I
And
think of her new music?
no struggle. Her new music. So obviously you've heard "Blowin'," which is her hit single.
Okay.
You've heard it?
I mean, I probably did. I saw one thing, so it must
I
have been
think
that.
this is honestly. Is this the song that you did about Helen Keller? Because
Oh, jeez, don't play it. If I hear old stuff, I'll die.
she's sounding very deaf in this music. This song right here is called.
Oh, you're saying
what-
that was. Oh, that's good.
This is called "Unplanned Parenthood," and we
Shut
just a little
up.
preview for you. Just want to see what you think.
This bump doesn't go.
Oh wait, sorry. Start at the beginning. I don't want to miss anything.
Oh baby,
Oh,
oh baby. Replace the formula and diapers with poppers and hearts. This bump doesn't go away, either disappear on my face. It feels like.
I like how you're listening to it. He's actually really trying to take it in.
I am. It was
No, he
like
was really like,
it
you know
sounded
what?
like Will I Am being like raped with a leaf blower. I can't even. Yeah. I mean, whatever. I mean, the problem is. The problem
What
is
is the problem?
Tell
the
us, 'cause
problem
we
for-
can't figure it out.
Well, the problem is for me is that like there's nothing to parody anymore.
No.
because they live it. I mean, what's
Yeah.
the like? It's the funny thing. It was like with my show with MTV. It was like, what am I making fun of? People are already doing it, living. Like
Yeah.
she is a better satire of young fame than like if she didn't exist and you wrote a show about like a girl that had a television show because she got pregnant at 16 and then made a sex tape and then had a music career, people would be like, oh, fuck off. That's like way too unrealistic. You're being a little too heavy-handed with like your satire or whatever. So it's like, oh,
It's almost
God.
upsetting. No, that was like when Miley.
Could you understand what she said? Because actually, this is the 5th time I've listened to that
We
part,
can't understand
and I
it.
think I got it.
Oh, okay.
It said, instead of diapers and formula, replace them with peppers and heartaches.
peppers.
Peppers might be iffy.
I
I
think
don't know
peppers.
if peppers
I
is
think
the right word,
everything
but-
else feels like ripe except for peppers.
Well, I think like Mitt Romney nibbled on jalapenos to keep his energy up during his campaign. I've heard that. Yeah.
Oh.
Or who was it? Was it him?
Fair's a huge Mitt fan.
Yeah. So that
She
might be
actually
it.
she made a whole video about it. Wait, side note, just and really quickly, just last one because this is our favorite. It's called After Prom.
After prom.
Shh, don't let it get out.
There's a lot of synth. Let me cut to the chase.
Don't let it get out. Don't let it get out.
Thoughts?
I mean, Freud's coming right up to the surface, I think. Shh, don't tell. I want to get out. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's like, yeah, what did she mean by that? What did she mean when she meant Daddy never loved me? What did she mean by that? Like,
I don't quite understand.
Yeah,
it's too deep for me.
Yeah, so there's so many layers. Yeah, that's horrifying.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
It's like, yeah, thanks, GarageBand. This is what you've made by letting everyone make music. Maybe we should have just kept the fucking studios
that's
alive.
the scariest part. Is like, do you think? I literally in my
scary.
car, I was listening to a couple of them on the way here, and I was like, okay, what did she make this? Or if she did, honestly though, I'm kind of impressed because it's noises, and I'm like, how did she work a computer to make noises? And, But then the other part of me is like, did she actually like meet some guy? She lives in like Kentucky, like some random guy on Craigslist who's like, I make music, and then they got together, and like, how did that happen?
No, I think it was GarageBand.
But not by her. She's not smart enough for that.
I think that-
GarageBand is confusing a little bit.
I mean, but the thing is, it's hard because it's like, she was like a fucking, 15-year-old mother.
17.
And then gets fucking then gets famous for that, and probably everyone's like,
Her boyfriend died.
You fucking whore. Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
crazy. And like, you fucking whore. And then she goes, and then, and then she does this. She's a whore, and now she does her music. It's all just so sad.
She made a mold of her vagina. I don't know if you know about that. There's a video of it online of her making a mold of her vagina for her
he
sex
does not
toy.
know about that. Why would he care?
Because we know
doesn't
about that.
know
Yeah,
The
see,
world knows about
I don't
that.
really think that really makes sense, because when people say that they make like casts of their dick, for like whatever, that makes sense to me, because it's like it's in theory a hard dick, so it's like it would take the foam,
Yeah.
But I feel like the detail of a vagina wouldn't be. You'd have to like laser scan it and do a 3D print of
Right,
it.
right,
But if
right.
you put like a cast on it,
Right.
it's gonna smush the detail.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think Farrah has a
And that
lot
is the
of detail.
last thing we want.
There's a lot of detail.
I don't want to smush that detail at all. I want every crevice.
I feel. Oh God, I just got an image in my head of you plastering your vagina.
Okay.
Anyways, moving on.
All
Speaking
right.
of vaginas have lots of detail, we are about to
Okay.
call my mom.
Yeah. Jesus.
Okay.
How should I
Do you
do
wanna
this? I'm
here,
gonna
hold
switch
on.
with
We're
you.
gonna switch. Hold on. This
Hold
is
on, guys.
really okay. Hold on.
Really technical. Oh, it's so weird when you take it.
What is the switch? You need to.
We don't have. We do the call on the actual phone, and
Oh, and you plug it in.
and then we've done, no. It's just that so she can hear you. This is really everybody's seeing
Technical,
the behind
guys.
the
Oh,
scenes.
right. Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it's totally. Yeah. Okay, get close.
What if I was like, Mom, what are you doing? She's like, getting a cast made of my vagina. What are you doing? Just trying to get the details
What if you
right.
were? She's like, "What are you doing?" And you were like, "Samesies."
Just me and Bo hanging out. Okay, here we go.
Is your mom out here?
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
That
Where's
is.
your mom? Far away.
Far away, other side of the country.
How long did you live in LA?
3 years.
Oh, how's it going? Yeah.
Honestly. Oh, here we go.
Does she know we're calling?
She knows. My mom knows everything. Little details. Mom.
Yes.
Okay, I'm calling you from the podcast with special guest, comedian, YouTube extraordinaire, Bo Burnham.
Hello.
Right when you said that, the dog barked. What?
Ah, I have that effect.
Oh, Bo Burnham.
Hi, Bo. How
Hey.
are you?
Good. How are you? It's nice to talk to you.
Good. It's great to talk to you.
This is
you're hysterical.
Oh, thank you so much. Your son is wonderful as well.
Well, Shane always asks me to ask a question, and
Okay.
your sense of humor is really similar to Shane's.
Yeah.
And have
He's
you guys,
deeply
like,
offended.
Did you guys talk about that?
We did talk about that. Yeah, we talked a little bit about it.
Well, I think what we really talked about was he said, back when I was first starting, I was doing a lot of terrible offensive humor, and then I grew up, and I was like, yeah, no, me too. Except for I haven't grown up yet, and I'm still doing that humor.
No, that's not true.
Well, I guess what my question would be was, because it's so similar, did you have a similar background growing up as Shane by any chance?
Well, what was Shane's background? You tell me a little bit of
Terrible.
Shane's background, and then I'll tell you a little bit of mine.
Oh god.
Well, that might take too long, but...
Well,
By
I
any
think
chance?
Were you 500 pounds?
No, what I think was probably similar is, my family is like, all we do is sort of joke. I mean, that's sort of the thing. It's like at the dinner table, it's a bit of a vicious fight for who can joke with each other. So I think I became so comfortable with comedy at an early age that I feel like immediately had to start pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
And that's probably similar.
And our dinner table
guys-
was a fight for food constantly.
Oh, great. Yeah. So
Perfect. There you go,
Okay,
Mom.
okay.
And Mom, he's also really, really religious and single and 8 feet tall and actually 45 years old. I'm throwing all these things out there, just letting you know.
Well, I would have to say, Bo, that your material where you do God's perspective, it's hysterical.
Oh, thanks a lot. Oh, that means
It's
a
like
lot.
you would be a really good preacher.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. Yeah, I think so.
You would actually be interesting.
You should read his Wikipedia page.
That's nice.
Anyway,
All
I'm
right,
so glad
Mom.
you got to talk to you, honey.
All right, Mom.
Good to meet you. That's very, very lovely to talk to you.
Oh, thank you.
All right. See you on Tinder. Love you.
Okay, okay, honey. Bye-bye.
It's funny because she probably knows what Tinder is, and she's probably on it.
She's a sweetheart.
Are you very religious?
No. Two things. Two things. One of which, the first of which is it's funny that she said the God thing. I think that's really sweet. Is your mother religious? Because my mother's religious.
Yes. Yes.
And what I think is nice is that I'm personally not religious, but it's nice.
Spiritual.
Or spiritual. No, but that song I was hoping would be like, I was trying to write something that hopefully little atheists and people like my mother could get together and sort of agree upon. So it's nice that she said that, because I did, I don't ever want to, make people feel like I think they're idiots or stupid or
No.
anything.
And-
So that, so it's nice that she said that, because I don't think she's wrong. I think she totally
Yeah.
gets it, And I
And
think
Christians are a big audience. I mean, the fact that I literally looked at the box office the other day, and like the number 2 movie was a shitty fucking piece of shit movie
Oh God,
with
It's Not
like
Dead.
Dean Cain or some
Yeah.
horrible person.
Yeah.
And it
What
was like
movie?
it's like listen, I'm Christian and I love me some God, but I mean, what the fuck? Like the worst piece of shit movie ever. It made like $100 million because God's in the title.
Yeah.
Wait,
But
what? I haven't not heard of this. What's it called?
Because you're not Jesus.
It's true.
You're not Jesus.
But-
I don't do Jesus.
But basically, I happen to, I don't personally believe in God, but my
I thought you were gonna say I happen to know the people who made that
Yeah.
movie. So
I personally don't believe in Dean
Did you
Cain.
see the Louis? Did you see the Louis C.K. opening for SNL when he was talking about the people that atheists who were like, "There is no God," and he's like, "Really? How do you know?"
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
He's like-
No, he handles it pretty amazingly. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
want to get into this talk, but like, what would I?
No, I'm
How
not-
do you know that there aren't leprechauns? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not really on my. But my point is that every sort of atheist comedian, I don't think of myself like that or whatever, is stressing the points that I don't think are important. I don't think people are dumb. There are people much smarter than me believe in God. My mother's a hospice nurse. She believes in God. She's a much better person than I am. So the things I want to talk about versus God and belief and stuff, it's not about putting people down because of their beliefs. It's more of a conversation. That the song that your mother references, it's really about, for me, whether it's true or not, it's more important that we, love each other and love ourselves or whatever. And then the other point was, I hope that's not what you took from it. The idea that I would say me moving away personally from inoffensive stuff was saying that I think
Oh
you have a motive like that.
no! Oh no!
Oh, okay.
Please. I
Okay.
feel like I've slightly moved away, but then again, I just don't. Think
No,
about
but
it
I
too
also think
much.
there's a huge place for it. Again, the thing is like, your own comedy is like your fingerprint. You know what I mean? So like me interacting with my early stuff and the way my stuff has evolved, it's just so particular to me. So it's like I have trouble. I'm unable to compare myself to anybody, not because I'm incomparable, but because like my relationship with my stuff is so personal that I don't even, sometimes I know when I'm talking about my own process, I worry that I feel like other people are thinking, oh, he must not like me, or he must, think that this is stupid or something.
Oh, no.
But I'm just saying that I almost never, I'm not even capable, I don't think, of making those comparisons, because I'm usually just so head
You're
down
really
with it.
into yourself, is what we're saying.
Yeah,
yeah.
like I'm a solipsistic.
Yeah, no, I got that. I got
True
that.
True that. No, I look back at my old stuff and you kind of.
I can't hear it. I mean, if I hear
I
my
get
old stuff,
physically sick.
I
Yeah.
just there's this very schna museum in LA called Mocha, and there's a retrospective of this artist for his whole career. And I was listening to this thing on NPR the other day, just talking about how like a lot of artists like kill themselves when they have to do retrospectives of their whole career, because they have to look back on the things they did when they were first starting out, and they think it's awful.
Oh,
and
yeah, I'd kill myself.
It's literally, they're like, I'm not even being facetious. Like literally, artists have like actually committed suicide because they're like, I can't look at the stuff that I
No,
did. when I was
sometimes I'll
starting
see a
out.
video from like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, really, I did that? I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
So nobody kill themselves. But I'm just saying, being an artist is really hard.
No, it's like really hard to be like talented and like work hard and like, make things. No. Anyway, what we're saying, kids, is don't make anything because you end up killing yourself. So the final part of the show, always my favorite, is when
I like you having the yellow pad. I gotta
I got
say,
it.
you got
It's
yellow
legal
paper.
pad.
I mean, you know what I mean? I would have thought we would have come here, would have been iPads and you know
Nope.
what's and
fuck
reading off Zunes.
Nope.
No, Zoom.
I
That's
don't
the
know
only thing they're good for. I'm really fucking old school. You know, I'm really down with the legal pads. I actually didn't even. Read
You just
any
turned
of
the page
this.
so people could hear that there really is
I
legal
know.
pads.
No, that's the turn page effect on his iPad.
One of my, I have okay, so the page I wrote down with just like little notes or whatever, they all have like stars next to them, and you know
How's
the
your
first
handwriting?
it's pretty rough.
Oh, I think your handwriting's pretty good.
Wait, this is what I wanted to show you.
Oh, you got good handwriting.
Look at the look at the. Oh, wait, I want to point it out before
Yeah,
we find it. This is my favorite that I just noticed. This line. It's just one.
Which one? Oh, gay kid and fat chick?
No, up right above that. It's just
From comments?
no. It just says gay.
Gay. Oh, yeah. I
Which
should
literally,
notice that one.
I know what it means because in my head I'm like, I heard you talking about in an interview that you don't say whether you're gay or not because you don't think it matters or whatever. But anybody that would read this paper just says gay,
Gay.
with a star next to it.
Yeah.
It's like
That's really funny.
interesting question,
Yeah,
Shane.
so gay.
No, but since you did read it, we didn't get to this because I didn't actually look at this paper. But you wrote a script called Gay Kid and Fat Chick.
Yeah.
And for kids who don't know, which is probably a lot of people because this is like a very Hollywoody thing. There's a thing called Blacklist, and it's where the best scripts of the year that didn't get made, and like it's on this list, and everybody looks at them.
It's a big deal.
And I read it, and I'm obsessed with it. And I think it's really, really funny.
Oh, you read the script?
Yes.
Oh, that's
sorry.
cool.
I found it online.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, sweet.
And it was really, really great.
Is it going to be made? What's the
yeah,
deal?
what's happening?
Yeah, we're not sure. It's a long process to get stuff like that made.
Oh, yes. We
But
know.
like I wrote it for Paramount, so yeah, we're still in talks of
How
that.
does it happen? Like where you write something, you put so much time and so much energy into it. Like for me, it's hard because I'm so used to the YouTube world where you write something and then you
Exactly,
make it
yeah.
and that's it.
Well, that's the thing, and I've been spoiled with that. As a stand-up too, it's like, but it'll be my greatest strength going forward, and yours too. I'm sure it's like the fact that like you kind of learn to do it on your own, and the fact that like you don't even know the idea of not getting just to do what you want, kind of. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, and that when you find out the other, I'm saying when I did find out the conflicts of that, it hurt a little bit, but no. But the thing is, like, they hired me to write a script, so from the beginning, I knew I gave them this pitch, and then I wrote it for them, so I knew it was always in their hands. They always owned it, so I knew that was the thing. And basically, in the time that hasn't, or been figured it out, I wrote something else on my own that I can now try to present or something. But I mean, I really enjoy writing. I do like the experience of writing. So if it didn't go forward, I feel like I actually got everything I wanted out of it.
The journey,
sort of,
huh?
yeah. I love writing. I mean, I just like the experience of sitting and writing something. And I tried to write a script that was just a good piece of, not literature, but a good piece of writing to read, and then if it gets made, that's sweet. But I was trying to just enjoy that's what I'm trying to do more and more of nowadays, really just trying to enjoy what I get to do rather than, banking on the fact that there'll be these wild successes that I can, and enjoy the wild success of it, because that's, that's fucking very
beautiful.
difficult.
Enjoy the moment.
It's never gonna happen. I know it's so funny. It's like you live and you discover things that everything's a fucking cliche. You realize that every most profound thing you should do. It's like, oh right, you really should just be in the moment. You really should just like, be kind to one another. It's like, oh, that's boring.
I just watched.
I wish it was more exciting than that. But.
I watched an entire documentary last night about. I'm obsessed with really, really weird documentaries, and I watched one called Bronies. I don't know if you know what this is about.
yeah.
Don't.
You know what this is about?
No, well, I know Bronies.
You do.
Of course. I can't believe you don't know Bronies.
I don't.
I'm the one that doesn't. I don't know Draw Your Life. You don't know Bronies?
No.
No, I just learned.
What?
What
You hadn't heard of Bronies?
what
That
is it?
is crazy.
Okay.
See, I feel like you, because I feel like you are like one
A
of the
total
most
brony.
No, one of the most like internet linguistic or like most fluent in internet.
Language.
I'm very fake, and I have no
Wait,
idea what's
what is a
happening.
What is it? I feel like
A
is this
brony. I
furry?
mean, you saw the thing, but a brony is a bro, a man, a guy who is a huge fan of My Little Pony.
Don't laugh. They are, first of all,
Wait, is that
they're
real?
they're not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
obsessed with My Little Pony. They're obsessed with My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, which is the new version. And the reason they're obsessed with it,
These are grown men,
grown men.
and there's a documentary about this.
Yes, it's on Netflix. And the reason they're obsessed with it is because of the lessons, such as be nice, be a nice person, don't be an asshole, be loyal, be compassionate. Like all these lessons. And these guys, that's how they say, they're like, why is it wrong to like this? I like friendship and I like loyalty.
But this is such a specific group of people that like they have a name and are
Bronies.
and
They're
there's a
huge.
documentary.
There's a
It's
documentary.
huge. It's like Brony cons and
BronyCon
stuff.
is insane. Have you
Yeah.
seen the documentary?
I haven't. No, I've just like
God.
seen. I again. I just feel like I've been surrounded by. I feel like most people have heard of that. I'm
That's
sorry you haven't
not
heard of
true.
that. I swear.
No, Lisa walked in the room when I was watching it. She's like, what is this fucking weirdos? And she sat down. Literally 5 minutes later, she's in tears. And she's like, I mean, honestly, like, they're such good people. Because, like, okay, there was one brony, and he's little, and he has, like, this weird disease. He has, like, Gary Coleman disease, where he's, like, young, but he's old, and he's kind of weird and whatever.
And he's dead.
sad.
And he's black.
And he's, and he's dead, and he's black, and he's honestly, like, overrated, not that funny. Anyways, so he has this little disease, and he's a brony, and all the bronies are, because the mom is sitting there, she goes, you know, everybody thinks bronies are weird and creepy and pedophiles. He's like, but they send my son letters, which didn't really help the case with the pedophilia. Anyways, she's like, they send my son letters, and he had like thousands of brony letters saying, I hope you get better and I hope your disease goes away. And he's like crying. He's like, I just feel like my bronies love me. I mean, Lisa was in
is this-
tears. I was in
No,
tears.
are the bronies mostly like sort of odd men? Or are they like men that are just normal?
You would
Yeah,
never
like Benedict Cumberbatch, or some others. No, but like I think for me, like what I think it exposes, which I think is true, is that it's like fandom. You know, it's an interesting just sort of theory of fandom. Or it's just like it's a lot of the times, which is good. It's like sort of an arbitrary excuse to gather together and be a community and support each other, and that's probably the more crucial thing. Like, who cares if it happens to be My Little Pony, if it's a bunch of, or if it's like, I mean, isn't My Little Pony just as arbitrary as like the Dark Elf level 7 that has or the Steelers or the I'm just saying. It's interesting. It's interesting to see. How
I think
that stuff
Shane and
comes
I have
together.
talked about this. It's like neither of us are like the type of people that would get to such a fanatic level with people, except for me with you, of course. Right. But I mean, it's like I remember I'm a little older than you, at like a New Kids on the Block concert when I was really young, and everybody like freaking out, and me just looking around, being like, well, "What is your problem, everybody?" You know what I mean? Like,
there's certain levels to it, right? I don't want to.
we're fine.
Oh, every
Okay,
time
okay.
Lauren talks, I look at my phone. I'm sorry.
Okay, I don't feel like I don't want to waste.
No, when
time
you
or go
when you
over
talk,
things.
the phone goes away.
No, I wasn't saying that. I was just looking at the clock.
No, you're fine.
Well, I think there's different levels of fandom. I mean, that word is strange because, you know, I just know as I grew up, at different ages, you relate to artists in different ways. I'm probably not going to say this well because I've never really thought about it, but you know, so there's something. As someone who feels like they're on the for a small group of people on the other side of it, where you might have some, I see that there's a very big difference between like a 13-year-old that loves my stuff and a 16-year-old and a 20-year-old and a 30-year-old. Like they're all very, very different. And me, you know, I was obsessed with people when I was young and 13, and now I am obsessed with certain people. John Grant is like this singer-songwriter that I'm absolutely obsessed with. But for me, it's a very like specific sort of like emotional, intellectual relationship. Wow, you've really challenged the way I think. You've sort of shaken my work. Like you've shown that you can, as opposed to when I was younger, I might have just been like, oh my God, it's Steve Martin or whatever. But it's hard to I think it's very psychological. I think it's very strange when it becomes communal because I think that's the difference. Like I think you guys could probably get obsessed with people and like be big fans of people.
Oh,
but
sure.
but there's
Wendy
something-
Williams.
but there seems to be a difference between that
And a brony.
and when they break off and become separate. You know what I mean? Like when like Beliebers or whatever, like and really I'm not putting them down or anything, but Beliebers almost seem separate from Bieber in a sense that like Bieber could say fuck you all tomorrow and we would like stay Belieber, like, you know, but you know what I'm saying? Like it like at a certain point it seems not to be referencing him anymore.
Right. No,
you know
that's
what I mean?
interesting. No, I get
and I
it.
get very confused by that.
No,
But I
it's-
don't get confused. I'm like, oh yeah, just like excuse for people to be able to reach out for each other, out to each other, and have friends, and like write to each other. I mean, I just have friends that like made best friends with people on the internet chat, in like on like the chat form of some band they were obsessed with. You know, so they were obsessed with some band. They would go in the chat room every night, and now they're best friends with some kid in Germany, and they go visit him every 6 months or something. You know, so like oh, so the band was just kind of an excuse to meet people of similar interests. You assume, oh, you like this, you'll probably be more like me. You probably won't be as scary
feel like that
as the
sounds
kids
like-
at school.
That
My
sounds
parents,
like Taken, like you're gonna go to Germany to like.
yeah, well, that's a
To
little
a BronyCon.
But if you think about that, I mean, but you know, if we're all just like looking to try to get out and connect with each other, and I'm just thinking like with a brony or something. I mean, I don't want to like over theorize or something with these kids or something, but no, the idea that like I'm a guy that's maybe a little more sensitive than other people, and I'm the type of guy that would feel comfortable liking a show about little ponies, and that's probably like the complete distillation of why I'm bullied and tormented in my life. So if I can find a bunch of other guys, like if you're willing to be a fan of My Little Pony, I'm probably like, we're already on the same level. We're already friends in a way. You're already like my ally in this world in a way that other people aren't, you know?
So you're gonna make me cry again.
But see, and this is another.
This is like the Will Wheaton speech he just gave at like not Comic-Con but another thing. Did you hear about that? Talking about nerds.
Oh, I heard a little bit.
It went
about
viral.
this.
It was so good. Will Wheaton was in Stand By Me 100 years ago, and I used to fantasize that he would come rescue me in school when I was like in second grade.
Yeah.
I'm like not kidding. And he did a whole thing. This girl was like, were you ever like called a nerd? And he was like, of course I was. And then all of a sudden it sort of ended. It was this whole great speech, and he was just like, and I'm just letting you know, you're in a room with like 50,000 people that were all called nerds, and we're all doing great. And it was like this whole great like thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
No, it is nice. The other side of that though that I haven't really enjoyed is like the Glee angle of it, which I saw like when like Glee did this song about like you're a perfect snowflake or whatever the fuck, and the song was basically like you're gonna be pumping my gas in 10 years, so whatever, like you may bully me now, but you're gonna be pumping my gas. I'm like, well, that's just like, so we're just passing the bullying on to adults. Like, so you may be calling me a faggot now, but I'm going to be calling you a poor asshole. And I'm like, oh, that's not nice. I mean, like, so you're just going to be, don't worry, I'm going to get to be the asshole in 10 years. You know? But that's, I guess what I was saying about the fandom stuff is like, that's why I get so confused when bigger people, and I do actually like Lady Gaga. I think she's doing some actually cool things and saying some interesting things about celebrity. But when they're all like my monsters and like, don't you kind of get that you're just kind of an art? You just happen to be the chosen one to be the big one, and everyone's going to gather around you. But it's so, because I feel like that's the easy way.
Do your fans have a name?
I don't know. I try to, you know, the funny thing with my fans, you know, it's such a weird word because again, it comes from like fanatic, so it sounds insane. And I really do think like these are people that like my stuff and spend maybe 0.1% of every day thinking about me, you know. But the thing is, since a lot of my show I talk about these sort of things, I sort of make fun of fandom, and I say things, you know, like my fans will say things like, "I love the idea of you," or I mean, like it's sort of funny that I think they'll kind of be ironic, you know, it's weird. It seems like
So they don't have a name, is what you're saying?
I don't think so. I mean, I said Bo's Hoes in a song, and they call themselves that.
I like Bo's Hoes.
But I don't know. You know, it's like I like it seems a little yucky to me, but
I think
it's
that sounds
beautiful.
great.
Mine
I love it.
are Dawson whores. I don't know how that happened or who made that up or
I would call
doesn't
them,
rhyme.
How about Dawson's Creeps? Like freak.
I like that.
Dawson's
No,
Creek.
that's where I got my name from.
We
It's
got
perfect.
it. We got it.
Okay, we got it. We got it.
Speaking
Anyway.
of Dawson's Creek,
Speaking of the Dawson's Creeps, now for the best part of the show. Well, second best. Lauren creaming her pants over Bo is pretty great.
Oh,
this
your
is-
mom's up there. I think it's got to come out down to
Okay,
third.
third best. This is where we read comments from sdarmy.com, and I read some of my favorite comments that you guys wrote. This is from Epic Bored Person, which explains everybody that watches my videos. It says, why does this keep happening to the Shane and Friends Wikipedia page? And they posted a picture of the page and what it says. It says, as of today, the 31st of March, Lauren Schnipper has been kidnapped by an anonymous person which the police has not captured yet. Shane Dawson is still uploading videos daily. And to be quite honest, he really doesn't give a fuck about whether or not they will find her. Due to her disappearance, Shane wishes the best for Lauren Schnipper, also known on Twitter as Schnipstar, to reappear. But for the Shane and Friends audience, they hope she does not. And they dry heave every time they think about her horrible voice. The end.
Thank you, Epic Board Time.
And there's no source. So, like, I don't know how that made it on
Epic
Wikipedia.
board guy.
No, he didn't write this. He's just showing.
No,
us.
he just let the world.
He just bring it to our.
Wikipedia, it facts.
Yeah, that's I've heard.
Do you know what I mean?
And this is my other favorite. This is from SD UK fan. It says, "Hey Shane, just wanted to leave a comment about the podcast. I love it. It got me through some really tough times where I was really, really nervous. Like the time recently when I was traveling on the train to London to meet Max Joseph of MTV's Catfish. He's my hero, and listening to your podcast really helped calm me down so I wouldn't pass out when I met him. Thank you, Amy."
That's nice.
I mean, full circle, but then what we were just talking about right there.
Really curious as to what could make you that diehard a fan. He's the white-haired one, right?
Yep.
What?
I don't.
Oh, right. Yeah.
What can make you that diehard of a fan
I
of
know.
the white-haired one who once in a while will just say like, "This is crazy." Like he doesn't ever, like he never ever, like Neve is carrying the show, and Max just kind of once in a while throw in, you know.
Sure,
like
sure. I mean,
What do you think his fans are called? Max Attacks.
No, it's got to be something. It's
Addicts.
got to be something about
Big
his,
Max.
They got to be like the Frosted Tips or something. He's got a very bird-like,
Bird-like.
a little bit bird. I don't know. He looks like an eagle. Oh, what is the word?
I don't know.
Needs to know a word.
Tweet about it later.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we'll tweet about it later. Well, there you guys go. That was our show. I'm very excited. And listen, I just
back.
want to say, and I should probably say this off air since it's more genuine, since everything I say on air is fake. But I just want to say thank you so much because I feel like even though I don't really like you were a YouTuber. A lot of people don't consider you a YouTuber because you don't do all like the stupid YouTubey stuff. I consider you a YouTuber, and I am very happy and thankful that you're here because you have crossed over, even though you're like too humble to admit it, and you really have opened up doors for a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people. Whenever I'm pitching anything or whatever, the second I mention your name or they mention your name, it's like it. You have crossed over and people take you seriously, and it's helping people take me seriously and other YouTubers who are trying to make shows and stuff. So thank you.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
And,
Well, thanks. Thanks a lot. I mean, you know, like I totally admire you. Like I'm just saying, the fact that I went away from the medium, like I said, the YouTube medium, it had nothing to do with the fact. It was because I just loved live stuff, you know. But I am so interested in seeing like how this new thing is going to be built up and sustained and like destroy the studios and stuff. I would love to see it happen. I really would. You know what I mean? And it's truly crazy over the last 4 or so years to watch things grow. I mean, to watch your stuff grow, to watch like Shay Carl's thing that just got sold for $500,000. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And like, yeah, you know, it's nice. I appreciate that, you know, I might be a nice little bridge to this stuff. But if I'm a bridge to the old world, you guys are like building up the thing that's going to take over. So
and
that's
then
pretty
us
exciting.
bronies are just gonna fly
Well,
over
fuck
the
the
rainbow.
bronies. I don't even talk to brownies. No, but seriously, it's really cool, man. You know, and it's really not, you know, and also like a lot of people could have easily. There could have been a rift with that. You know, with any other world, I feel like if I had been participating in it and then left to do something else, then came back like 3 years later, there would have been like, "Hey, fuck you! What are you doing? Oh, you're too good for us now," or anything. I never felt that with the YouTube community, which was so nice.
No, because we all love you. And
but
plus,
it's very, very nice. I
You never
appreciate that.
totally left. Like you were always posting.
Yeah,
something.
yeah. No, I didn't feel like I did, but I'm just saying it would not have. You know, I think, especially on the internet, it feels like that's a thing, but it totally wasn't. So I do very much appreciate that.
Well, where can people find you? What is your Twitter handles? Just your name?
Oh, but yeah, Bo Burnham, just BoBurnham, and yeah, I'm not really doing any shows anytime soon, but I have a book that's out,
Egghead.
Poetry of Egghead. You can get on Amazon and or
Watch-
whatever.
Watch a comedy special on Netflix.
Oh yeah, on Netflix or on my YouTube channel.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, there you guys go. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for coming. Lauren,
Yay.
thank you for keeping it in your pants. And
Sort of, relatively
we are going to
speaking.
get a mold of her
Vagina.
for you.
Oh,
Don't worry
great.
about
Okay,
it.
Okay,
perfect.
cool.
It's going to
Okay,
take us a long time to get the
Yeah,
details right.
send that to it's a dumpster right behind.
Yeah, scene.
All right.
All right, you guys. See you later.